A slight shortfall. In the entire town, people were talking about Mahashay Yashodanand's praise. Not just in the town, but throughout the province, his reputation was being discussed. Newspapers were commenting on his actions, and a flood of congratulatory letters from friends poured in. This is what social service looks like. People with progressive ideas act like this. Mahashay ji had uplifted the name of the educated community. Now, who would dare say that our leaders are all talk and no action? Mahashay ji could have easily received at least 20,000 rupees in dowry for his son, along with flattery, but he did not care for money in the face of his principles. He accepted his son's marriage without taking a single penny in dowry. Bravo, bravo. If you have courage, let it be like this, and if you follow principles, let it be like this. A true hero, a true son of his mother, you have done what no one has ever done. We bow our heads before you with pride. Mahashay Yashodanand had two sons. The elder son had completed his education and was now getting married. As we have seen, the marriage was to be held without any dowry. Today was the day of the engagement. Swami Dayal was bringing the engagement gifts from Shahjahanpur. Invitations had been sent to the prominent men of the town, and they had gathered. The event was set, and a skilled sitar player was captivating the audience with his performance. The banquet was also ready, and friends were congratulating Yashodanand. One gentleman said, "You've done something remarkable." Another said, "Remarkable. You've planted a flag of success. Until now, I've only seen people give speeches on stage, but when it comes time to act, they shy away." A third chimed in, "They come up with all kinds of excuses. Oh, I hate dowry. It's against my principles. But what can I do? My wife won't agree." Some blamed their father, others some distant relative. A fourth added, "Some are shameless enough to say outright that they should get back what they've spent on their son's education, as if they had deposited that money in a bank." The fifth gentleman spoke, "I know what you're doing. You're throwing shade at me. Is it entirely the boy's family's fault, or do the girl's family bear some responsibility as well?" The first one replied, "The girl's family's only fault is that they have a daughter." The second said, "The real fault lies with God, who created girls in the first place." The fifth said, "I'm not saying that. The fault doesn't lie entirely with the girl's family, nor entirely with the boys. Both are to blame. If the girl's family gives nothing, they have no right to complain about the absence of garlands, beautiful outfits, and a grand procession with music. Isn't that true?" The fourth said, "Yes, that is a point worth considering. In such a case, the boy's father should not be criticized." The fifth added, "So you could say that dowry, garlands, jewelry, and lavish outfits should all be discarded together. It's pointless to try to eliminate only dowry." Yashodanand interjected, "That's also a weak argument. I haven't taken any dowry, but does that mean I won't take garlands and jewelry?" The first gentleman said, "Mahashay, you are an exception. Why do you count yourself among the rest of us? Your place is among the gods." The second said, "You gave up 20,000 rupees? Amazing." Yashodanand said, "It is my belief that we must always stand firm on principles. In the face of principles, money holds no value. I have never given a speech on the evil of dowry, nor written a single note about it. However, I have supported the proposal in public meetings. Even if I wanted to break it, my conscience wouldn't allow me. I swear, if I took that money, the mental agony would be so unbearable that I might not survive the shock." The fifth person said, "If they don't make you president of the next meeting, it would be a grave injustice." Yashodanand replied, "I have done my duty. Whether it's appreciated or not, I don't care." At that moment, word came that Mahashay Swami Dayal had arrived. People got ready to greet him, escorted him to a seat of honor, and the engagement ritual began. Swami Dayal placed a platter of ceremonial items, including coconut, betel nut, rice, and palm leaves, in front of the groom. The priests chanted mantras, a fire sacrifice was performed, and a tilak, mark of blessing, was applied to the groom's forehead. Immediately, the women of the household began to sing auspicious songs. Meanwhile, in the gathering, Mahashay Yashodanand stood on a platform and began delivering a speech on the evil practice of dowry. The speech had been prepared in advance. He began with a historical explanation of dowry. In earlier times, dowry was unheard of. Gentlemen, no one even knew what dowry was or what this strange concept called taharani was. Believe me, no one even knew whether it was an animal, a bird, something from the heavens, or something to eat or drink. It was during the royal times that this custom started. Our young men began joining the armies. These were brave men, and joining the army was seen as an honor. Mothers would lovingly arm their sons and send them off to battle. As the number of young men decreased, the demand for them increased, and thus the barter for grooms began. Today, my humble act is being praised in the newspapers as if I have done something extraordinary. But I say, if you want to live in this world, end this practice immediately. One gentleman raised a question, do you mean to say that if we don't end it, we'll all die? Yashodanand replied, if that were the case, it would be for the best. People would be punished, and that's how it should be. It's God's injustice that greedy, money-grubbing scoundrels who sell their children are still alive, and society doesn't condemn them. But they're all frauds. The speech was lengthy and filled with humor. The audience applauded. After finishing his speech, Yashodanand called his younger son, Paramanand, aged 7, to the stage. He had given him a short speech to read, wanting to show how intelligent the children of his family were. It was customary at such events for children to deliver speeches, so no one found it unusual. Paramanand was a charming, bright, and smiling child. He came to the stage smiling, pulled out a paper from his pocket, and proudly read in a loud voice, Dear friend, greetings. Your letter reveals that you do not trust me. I swear by God that the money will reach you so secretly that no one will have the slightest suspicion. However, I have one query. Since you will gain honor and prestige from keeping this affair secret, and I will be criticized by my close circle, what consideration will I receive in return? My humble request is that 5 out of 25 be set aside for me, as a matter of justice. At that moment, Yashodanand had gone inside to order the food for the guests. He returned just in time to hear the words, set aside 5 out of 25 for justice. His face went pale. He rushed to Paramanand, snatched the paper from his hands, and exclaimed, You fool! What are you reading? This is a letter from a client about his case. Where did you get this, you devil? Go and bring the paper I gave you to read. One gentleman said, Let him read it. This letter is more entertaining than any other speech could be. Another said, A real showstopper. A third remarked, Let's end this gathering now. I am leaving. A fourth said, Yes, let's all go. Yashodanand, trying to control the situation, said, Sit down, sit down. The food is being served. The first gentleman asked, Son Paramanand, come here for a moment. Where did you find this paper? Paramanand replied, Babuji himself wrote it and kept it in his desk. He told me to read it. Now, he's getting mad at me for no reason. Yashodanand said, That was the wrong paper, you pig. I left the correct one on the desk. Why did you take this one from the drawer? Paramanand replied, I couldn't find anything on the desk. Yashodanand said, Why didn't you ask me then? Why did you open the drawer? Just wait until I deal with you today. This is like a divine punishment. Another guest remarked, This is what leadership is, serve your own interests and look good while doing it. A third added, Shame on you. True respect is earned through sacrifice, not deception. A fourth said, You almost succeeded, but you fell just short. A fifth concluded, God always punishes hypocrites like this. Saying this, people began to stand up. Yashodanand realized that his secret was out, and the charm of the moment was ruined. He kept glaring at Paramanand with furious eyes but refrained from beating him. This little devil had ruined everything, disgraced him, and caused his reputation to plummet. He felt as if he had been shot. Outside, as the guests were leaving, they commented among themselves. One said, God has blackened his face. If he has any shame, he'll never show his face again. Another said, It's unbelievable that wealthy, respected, and learned men can fall so low. If you want to take money, take it openly, no one stops you. But why steal it secretly and still seek praise? A third said, Shameless scoundrel. A fourth commented, I feel sorry for Yashodanand. He schemed so cunningly, yet his deceit was exposed. Just a slight shortfall. The story ends here.
This story was originally written by Premchand, a legendary author of Hindi literature almost 100 years ago. Do let us know if you like the story. If it so happens that you did not like the story, even then, please let us know your choice so that we can find something you would like to listen. If you like the story, tell your friends as well. If you want to enjoy more stories like these from so many other Indian authors, subscribing the channel would make it easy. Bye for now.